Hi there, I'm meteorologist Leonard Josiah with the Antigua and Barbuda Meteorological Services. It's time for us to weather your weather. Thanks for joining us on this Friday morning. Together, let's take a look at your tropical weather update. We're beginning to give you some perspective as to where we are in the scheme of things as we look to our tropical cyclone climatology. Today, in the month of October, we are on the other side. Graph going downward, that's good news. However, the month of October compared to the month of August still has some considerable tropical storm activity, and we just don't want to be complacent at all. This time of the year, the month of October has yielded some significant tropical systems, so we want to keep you focused that the Atlantic hurricane season for 2023 is not over. It's pretty active, and we're going to be monitoring, keeping a closer eye on the tropics, particularly for us here in the Caribbean islands. Take a look at our broader satellite imagery for this morning. We're looking at this low pressure system towards the north, non-tropical, tied into another front here, and it's not going to be doing anything for us in the way of tropical systems, but our eyes continue to be peered out towards the east. Two systems of note. I will be talking to you about that in the next couple of minutes. But here at the Virgin Islands, here at the Leeward Islands, Barbados and the Trinidad and the Tobago, we're looking at the Caribbean Sea and the islands of the Eastern Caribbean. We're looking at the Atlantic Ocean. We're taking you straight over to Africa, and you're noticing AL94 tropical disturbance number 1. And this morning, you're looking at where Tropical Storm Sean is located in the scheme of things with respect to the Atlantic and us here in the Eastern Caribbean. Let's take you a little bit more closer so that we can have a closer look at the conditions surrounding Tropical Storm Sean. Tropical Storm Sean does not look good. It continues to battle wind shear, pushing all the clouds over to the northeast. Here is the center right here, and this particular center is left bare and exposed because the winds are just so strong, pushing all those clouds off towards the northeast, and the environment around the storm does not look good because it is forecast to die natural death in the next couple of days. We are not forecasting any impacts to the islands of the Eastern Caribbean. We are looking at it moving out towards the west-northwest and the northwest, which I will show you in just a minute. But as of 5 a.m. this morning, was located near latitude 14.3 degrees north, 40.5 degrees west, moving towards the west-northwest about 13 miles per hour. Currently, the winds are 45 miles per hour with a pressure of 1004 millibars. And we're looking at the forecast track here of the Caribbean islands. We're looking at 5 a.m. this morning, located here a fair distance away from the Eastern Caribbean. So nothing for us to worry about. It's forecast to take a northwestern motion. Tropical storm conditions are forecast to remain well away from the Eastern Caribbean. Then it will encounter shear, weaken to a tropical depression, and even into a remnant low by early next week. So in terms of any forecast for us here in the Eastern Caribbean, in terms of the impacts, it's a no-no. We're happy for that. However, I'm taking you further afield. Here is the coast of Africa right there. We're looking at the not so great look of AL94. As of this morning, AL94 continues to battle with what we call some drier air intrusion, but nonetheless, you can see a broad circulation around here, and this particular dot suggests where the center is located as of this morning, 8 a.m. In the next 48 hours, we're not forecasting it to do too much in the next 48 hours. However, in the next 7 days, the tropical storm outlook is for it to get itself together, and I'm going to be talking to you about that in the next couple of minutes. The next 7 days, there has been a high chance, the National Hurricane Center has bumped it up to a high chance that we will see a tropical cyclone being formed out of this particular area, and residents of Antigua and Barbuda and the rest of the Leeward Islands and British Virgin Islands and the Caribbean should be watching this particular area, because you're going to be seeing why as I move on. This particular graphic here is the L94 potential track. We are looking for trends as compared to yesterday. Trend continues for it to continue towards the west. And the islands of the Eastern Caribbean, you're not seeing it on this graph, but we are off to the west here. But already you could see that this particular motion will continue towards the west. Models are suggesting a turn towards the northwest, but many more continues to suggest that the westward path will continue in the next couple of days. So for us in the Eastern Caribbean islands, we want to keep on monitoring this particular system. In continuation with the trend look, yesterday, the models were suggesting that this graph would have been a little bit more lower, meaning that we're looking at a minimal tropical storm. But as of this morning, most of the models continue to trek towards the, continue to trek higher now, meaning that they're at least looking for a tropical storm, minimal, moderate, or even a strong tropical storm. Some of the models are even flirting with the idea that we can see it entering the Category 1 area as a hurricane in the next 5 days. This is rather important for us here in the Eastern Caribbean islands, and we're going to be suggesting to you that you should keep a watch on it. And this is the reason why the National Hurricane Center is suggesting that someplace within this hatched red area we could see the birth of another tropical system, and this particular tropical system will certainly be watched for the islands of the Eastern Caribbean because it has potential impacts for us here in the Eastern Caribbean, Antigua and Barbuda, the rest of the Leewards, and the British Virgin Islands included. So right now, we're going to be keeping a very close eye on AL94 and where its potential would end up in next week. Keep an eye on it. Closer to home, we're looking at the satellite imagery for this morning. Some of these fanning clouds that you're seeing here are non-rain producing high-level clouds, but in the lower atmosphere, some patches of low-level clouds moving by on a slightly lower, slightly less wind flow, but nonetheless, the moisture content is not so high, so we are not forecasting any significant rainfall. A weak tropical wave here moving towards the west, like it would pass off into the Windward Islands during the next couple of days and bring some increased chance of shower activity. But you're looking further afield, nothing much to talk about in terms of tropical system other than what we call the weak trade wind passing shower, and your weekend looks pretty good. So let's delve right into what your 4-day forecast for Antigua and Barbuda and the rest of the Leewards and the British Virgin Islands look like. For today, Friday, a 50% chance that you will see an afternoon shower because of the daytime heating activity that we are likely to see. You're looking at winds out of the southeast at 8 miles per hour, daytime highs peaking as high as 33 or 91, with your overnight lows dipping as low as 24 or 75. What you see in Antigua is what you're likely to get in Montserrat, slightly cooler conditions in Montserrat going on into the weekend, with your maximum temperatures just about 31 degrees Celsius or 88 degrees Fahrenheit. In St. Kitts, we are looking at still a 50% chance of a shower today. We're looking at the 40% chance of a shower on Saturday, Sunday, and on Monday, with slightly warmer conditions in those islands of St. Kitts and Nevis, with your maximum temperatures as high as 90. In Anguilla, 31 degrees Celsius or 88 degrees Fahrenheit, overnight lows at 26 or 79, and similar weather conditions will take place in the British Virgin Islands, and posting a 40% chance you guys right on to the weekend because of the likelihood that you will see an odd shower here or there because of the daytime heating episodes, with your daytime highs as high as 31 or 88, your overnight lows at 26 or 79, and with those southeasterly winds, don't be surprised that your temperature feels a little bit warmer. Remember that your weather will always change. Here is your trusted weather source, we at the Antigua and Barbuda Meteorological Services. And as I leave you, I would really want to thank those of you who have subscribed to our channel. Continue to view this channel and continue to share it and give us a thumbs up or a like. Remember, we are here for you, and our purpose is to keep you engaged with respect to the weather and to fulfill our mandate with respect to the early warning systems with the World Meteorological Organization. So as I leave you, I'm Leonard Josiah saying, remember that your weather will always change, but you keep weathering your weather in spite of the weather. Whether you like it or not, join us same time, same place, right here at the Antigua and Barbuda Meteorological Services YouTube channel, where you get all your weather to weather your weather. Have a wonderful and restful weekend. Goodbye.